Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today I'm at BMW. We're going to try to answer the question, is the all-new 2023 BMW XM going to provide the ultimate driving experience? Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of great technology here, a lot of great features and functionality. The interior is spectacular, as you would expect from BMW. The exterior color is called mineral white metallic, obviously with the black interior. And I don't know how well you can see it. It looks like you can get a decent view, but depending on your driving mode or how you want to set the ambient lighting, well, obviously you're going to have lighting around this area of the vehicle all the way around. And something that I like here, that I think a lot of people are probably going to say, hey, that works for me, is that you don't have capless fuel fill. A lot of people don't seem to like that very much. You better have kind of the old school fuel cap that you unscrew and screw back on and all that good stuff. Now, this is a locking gas door, so when you close it like that and lock the interior up and everything, that's going to be locked. So a very nice looking vehicle. Let's dive in and see exactly what it's all about. And remember, if you want to buy this exact model or any other model from BMW, check out the link down in the description of the video. Taking a look from the front end, the way I would describe the overall design, especially here on the front, is that it has a little bit of a squared off aggressive look, but at the same time, it still looks high performance, very sporty. The slim lights here as far as the turn signal goes, you've got LED everywhere, the daytime running lights, all that good stuff. There is a lot of gloss black here, so if you're a fan of gloss black, well, guess what? You have plenty of that here. And also the active air curtains right here to help improve the MPGs. That's probably one of the widest I've ever seen. Very wide open. You can see all the way through, all the way to this area. In fact, we normally don't see daylight coming through like that with any vehicle. So a very nice look. The lines on the hood are very pronounced as far as the way everything comes out. We're gonna go up off the fender, have a nice rise, and then it comes up to a little bit of a line here and a slight downward move here as far as its design goes. Then it's gonna come up with a little bit of a rise. Very nice bulge here, but not a complete bulge because you have this little center area. It's almost like a runway to provide airflow all the way up over that BMW logo. You can see how the lines disappear right there, and then we repeat everything in the opposite direction over there on the other side. The XM badge, obviously going to be in the appropriate place on the upper grille with the double kidney grille. You're going to have, of course, sensors. You're going to have all those typical safety features you've come to expect from BMW. So let's take a look here at the tire and wheel size. There are going to be different sizes on the front than what we have on the rear. So 275 on the width. I can't even get my hand open that wide. And the 35 series sidewall wrapped around the 23-inch wheels. You can see that you have the M logo on the brake caliper right there. Kind of hard to see with where the wheel is right now, but a very nice look. And what about the size of the rear tires? I teased you just a little bit and told you there are two different sizes. 315 on the width here, the 30 series sidewall. Let's see if we can give you a better look at how wide. I mean, that's almost racing style width right there. And a lot of gloss black all over the vehicle as far as the body trim goes, up onto the fender flares and then onto the door sills down here. In fact, it's not even typical of a lot of vehicles in that you have nice lines, but you also have a little bit of an indentation right here. It's going to give it some nice character lines. Gloss black on the mirror caps. You will have the nice large turn signal built in right there. Kind of hard to see in this bright sunlight, but obviously those are power adjustable mirrors. And a lot of gloss black, privacy glass, and even the lines right here that really set everything off when you look at this. If that was body color, I don't know, it just wouldn't do it the same way. It really shows things off. You're also going to have a combination of the gloss black and the body color here on the door handles. And as we work our way around, you don't have a large rear roof spoiler. But honestly, I think this looks really nice. It has a very clean look to it. You do have a little bit of a spoiler back here, but not so much that it takes away from the look of the rear of the vehicle. I think BMW has done very nice here. Obviously, we're going to have the very appropriately designed tail light housing. That really looks nice. It looks just kind of like the M right there, just at least part of it. It works its way across. We do have the XM logo here, but it finishes up over here. So if you use your imagination, you can really see that it is an M. You can kind of see it. You don't even have to use your imagination. You can see what you have. Also, the vertical quad tip exhaust. So we're going to have the vertical on each side, a very unique look, and then the rear diffuser to finish things off. More of that gloss black back here. And we've talked about the exhaust. What exactly is under the hood that's creating that exhaust? Let's find out. Now, I know this may not be something all BMW owners are going to do, but some will. Here's the thing. Notice how I pulled on the hood latch twice right there. I like the fact that what that does for me is mean that I don't have to go looking for a hood latch. All I have to do is raise the hood to reveal the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, 644 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at a gut punch, 590 pounds-feet, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Obviously, this is an X-Drive all-wheel drive, and it's paired with the high-performance electric motor. The one thing I really like here, this is a plug-in hybrid. The good news about that, this is not full EV. What that means is that you're always going to have the, well, let's just say satisfaction, comfort, knowledge of knowing that as long as you have gas in the tank, you're going to be able to get where you need to go. You don't have to rely on power from a battery only. So that's good. But one thing that is a big benefit here, MPGs, 46 miles per gallon combined with electricity and gasoline between the two combinations with the gas motor and the electric motor. On gas only, we're looking at 14 miles per gallon. We're looking at 73 kilowatt hours per every 100 miles driven, or if you're on gas only, 7.1 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And that's really not too bad. A lot of people might say, oh, that doesn't sound very good. Those sound like some rather high numbers on gas mileage. When you have 644 horsepower, well, you might not expect to have the absolute best MPGs around, but still, these are some impressive numbers. And by the way, 0 to 60 is supposed to be a very impressive 4.1 seconds. I'd say that's pretty impressive for sure. And what about being practical here? Well, you have the cargo cover here that is removable, so you can take that out if you want to. A lot of space within the interior area, 18.6 to 64.3 cubic feet of cargo capacity. If you want to have an idea of what that looks like, a basketball is the size of a cubic foot. And so there you go. There's your idea of what that looks like. You can lower the rear seats down to maximize cargo capacity, and that's not all you can do. You also have a pass-through right here. Nothing unusual for BMW, but you lower down the armrest with the cup holders built in, and right here, look at that. That's how you bring that pass-through down and open that space up. So a lot of advantages there. And something that is interesting that I want to make sure I point out here, if you're wondering, where does this door close to? Is it to this area or to this area? This is where it closes. So that's your maximum cargo space right there, just in case you wanted kind of a visualization of how that looks. And you'll see some very nice LED lighting back here. That's not going to show up as well because we're out in the bright sunlight today. But you can see what is there in that respect. Obviously, you have a 12-volt power outlet right here. And within this bag, let's see how talented I am. Can I do this one-handed? Well, what do you know? I sure can. Well, what you would likely expect to find in the bag. There's your charging cable. So when you want to take advantage of the plug-in hybrid capabilities, well, there you go. That's how you do that. Comes with a very nice bag. In fact, that's a multitasker because I could actually get a good back workout if I wanted to with that. In fact, you can actually put it in here and hook it in so no one can steal it. That's why I couldn't just do that just then. But you know what? I could do quite a bicep workout because, well, that's heavy, or whatever you want to do in that respect. But there is so much more to talk about here. Obviously, you have the power rear door right here, the tailgate or lift gate, depending on what you want to call that. But let's step into the interior and see what we have. So we're going to obviously have your classic BMW look. Very nice, very elegant, comfortable. You know, I feel like I'm testing for doneness on a steak when I press down on these materials to see how soft they are, but I'll use the armrest test. That looks nice, or feels nice, I should say. You will have the brushed aluminum here, trim around the door handle. Everything there is brushed aluminum, but it does look nice. And by the way, let's go ahead and move that up and out of the way. We did show you that, so you know there's a lot of space there. But one thing I do want to show here that I personally like, for those of you who are parents, you have the latch system here. And the good thing is that there's nothing you have to move out of the way and store anywhere. It's all just concealed away with this flap right here. I guess that's what you would call that. Someone's probably going to correct me in the comments on that, but it's okay. But something that I like here that really sets this apart from a lot of competitors. If you see the design with the blue and the red here on the seat belts themselves, that just looks nice. It really sets itself apart against that black interior, and a really nice look, probably a little bit better than what we had earlier with the ambient lighting. At least in that area, you can see a little bit more right here. I'm going to try and pull into a darker area later on to show you a little bit more of what's there. You will have the rear seat pockets here, not your typical just kind of cheap pockets. That's actually some very sturdy material. And then right here, well, I shouldn't have to tell you what you can do. This is a nice multitasking area. Obviously, screens can go right here. Connectivity is there in the form of USB. And not only there, but down here as well. We also have the 12-volt power outlet. If I can pull that out, there's your 12-volt power outlet. Heated seats back here in the rear. Can control all of the functionality for the air conditioning from this area. But I tell you what, we're just getting started. Let's hop into the front seat and see what you'll find there. And here's a multi-fold tip for you, especially for you parents out there. But let's just say not only if you're a parent, but let's say you're out in the middle of nowhere and you say to yourself, you know, I think this is a great time to check out the back seat of my brand new BMW XM. And there's nobody around except you. So here's the reason I say this. Right here is the switch to activate or deactivate the child safety locks. You might not think about this, but here's the thing. You want to make sure that at least one of these doors, whether it's over there on the driver's side or here on the passenger side, is in this down position, because when they're in that up position, that means you're locked in there, especially if both doors are locked. And that means you would have to climb through the pass-through right there to get to the front seat if there's no one around to help you and open the door for you. So one of those things, yes, if the power ignition is on, yes, you could roll the window down and that would be all fine and good, but just something to know about that I know a lot of people may not know about. And oh yeah, two more things I do want to show you here. You might have noticed it didn't look like there was much of a door bin. No door bin here. Actually, there is a nice large door bin. It's right here, very deep. Nice big area right there for bottles, cups, whatever. Yes, I just sounded like a teenager when my voice cracked. And let's do this without cracking. Soft closed doors, in case you were wondering, yes, you better have soft closed doors here, right? But you have more of a traditional door bin here for the driver and passenger. As far as the front doors go, again, we'll have those soft touch materials right there. I can do the armrest test and show you that, yes, it is nice and comfortable. Fully adjustable seats, power for the driver and the passenger, very comfortable. The XM logo right there in the headrest. And down here, all of the controls for lumbar support, for controlling the seat, all that good stuff. And even the extension here for your thighs, if you like that, depending on how you want to set that up. Well, there you go. Again, the M logo right here. A very nice look on the dash. As far as the overall design goes, everything very seamless and very clean. And within the gloveless glove box, I never find gloves in these glove boxes, but you do have that nice felt material. It kind of just makes you want to almost have, I don't know, an ASMR experience. I don't know, can you have that with feel, or does it just come with sound? I don't know. This is not an ASMR channel, so don't give me a hard time about that. But if you want to conceal away your cup holders, there you go. A very nice look. You can easily get to everything there. As far as that goes, you're going to have your controls here for the cup holders. If you want to turn that on and cool things off or whatever you want to do, you can see that you have a couple of different options there. In fact, let's see. Here, let's do this. There we go. Now you can see that either heated or cooled. Hopefully that shows up on the screen because it is awfully bright out here. And the shifter right here, I'm going to show you a little bit more about how that works in just a little bit. But we do have the bomb bay doors right here. Bombs away, we're going to open those up. Good bit of space down inside there. You can see that you even have some connectivity options there. There's a few options for connectivity throughout the interior. A very nice look. Now you might notice that kind of a flickering look on the lights right there. That's because of my GoPro. So that's not an issue or anything that's wrong. There's your vanity mirror. When you open the cover up, the light's going to come on up here. And hi everybody, you can see me in the video. The only time you probably will today, but it's okay, no big deal. And that is how far back the sun visor goes. And I tell you what, with 644 horsepower and 590 pounds-feet of torque, you better have an oh crap handle at every door for your passengers, because if you do drop the hammer, they're going to be reaching for something. And by the way, a quick look at the remote here. One of the sportiest looking remotes, or most sporty, in case there's anybody who teaches English watching today's video. But you can pretty much see what is there, what it will do, all that good stuff. And something I didn't mention earlier, yes, these are power folding side view mirrors. That's something else that a lot of people tend to ask me about if I don't mention it. But I think on these BMWs, you probably don't have to be told about that. Now, once you lock the vehicle and you need to open the gas door back there, there's your button to do that. I probably don't have to tell you a lot about what's here. There is the lock for the windows. Obviously, you can control all of the windows from here, all that good stuff. Pretty simple to do. Lighting around the vehicle right here. Here are our sport pedals, aluminum sport pedals, and basically the same look here on the driver's seat as what we saw on the passenger side. You do have a power adjustable, tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, and you can see the nice paddle shifters here. Obviously, this is going to be for shifting down, this is for shifting up, and they are nice and large. I like that. And let's hop inside here, and I want to at least get a little bit of airflow going. So we're going to push the button right there to start everything up. Boy, you have one of the most sporty, elegant, and high-tech looking cockpits here of any vehicle. I like the fact that the screen is pointed at the driver. Everything kind of has a curve to it. Kind of hard to see that on the screen, most likely. I don't know, maybe you can. But I like the fact that it's angled towards the driver. Now, one thing you might notice here, the M1 and the M2 buttons. Now, you're going to program what those do. So, let's just say with M1 that you want to have a certain setting for the brakes, the suspension, whatever. But you just want M2 to control the engine. So you want the most power available. So you're going to change to your highest output setting for that. And so you can basically set one of these to have certain settings compared to the others. So if you're going down the road and somebody pulls up in their GLE 63 and you want to blow them off the road, well, you can push that button right there depending on if it's set correctly. So hopefully that's easy to understand as far as how that goes. Nice, comfortable, leather-wrapped steering wheel. All of your controls here, obviously, for controlling that right there. And the fact that you can control, it's heated, that's nice. You can control everything else here for the air conditioning, the fan speed, all that good stuff, and your heated and ventilated seats. I tell you what, I think I'm going to turn that on actually, because we do need that today in Northwest Louisiana. It is nice and warm. Taking a look at the instrument cluster, well, that looks nice. Modern, high-tech. Obviously, you can make a lot of changes there. There's a lot going on here. With your steering wheel mounted controls, I probably don't have to tell you too much about what is there. But I do want to spend a little bit of time here on the infotainment screen. You can see everything, again, right here for your settings as far as comfort goes and all that good stuff. We'll hit that right there just so you can see what comes up. And then, boy, there is a lot here. If you want to change your chassis settings, steering, the braking, everything. In fact, like I said earlier, you can program one of these two to control multiple things. Or like I say, if you just want to have it control one thing, you can do that. So depending on what you want to do, well, there you go. That's how you do that. Pretty simple to do, pretty simple to figure out. You can see what all is here. Obviously, you can go into multiple driving modes, and you can see right down here what those driving modes are. You can do setup. You have M mode. You have M hybrid. You can even change the sound of your exhaust right there. Now, one thing I do want to go over here is the shifter. It looks nice. For those who don't like push button shifters, well, for the most part, that's what you have here. You do push that to go into park. But to go into reverse, we're going to go right here, just like this. And speaking of reverse, there are our cameras. There are multiple camera views around the vehicle, so depending on what you want to see, well, you can see that. You do have the overhead view. That's always nice. A really nice, crisp, clear view. So depending on what you want to see, well, as you can see, there you go. You can go in and make multiple changes. It's a really nice, simple setup here. It looks kind of complicated, doesn't it? But it really isn't. I think BMW has done a good job here of setting things up. It's easy to get to everything you need to get to. And there's so much here. Obviously, you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you can pair your phone, you can do all that good stuff. It's all here, and it's all simple to use. And you even have something as simple as right here. The knob for the stereo, you can turn that on and off, adjust the volume. That's nice. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because I've seen other vehicles that didn't have that, and owners request it. And often, car makers will bring that back. And by the way, one thing I wanted to do is give you an opportunity to, as best as I can at least, let you hear the Harman Kardon surround sound system. So let's do that. Okay, and we'll turn that off. I don't want to go too long on that, but just so you can know what's there as far as how that sounds. Obviously, there is a lot going on here. If we covered every single little detail here, do you know how long this video would be? But obviously, BMW has done a lot, and I was going to try and pull inside to show you the ambient lighting, but I think we're doing pretty good here. I don't think we need to do that. Plus, there's a car inside where I was going to go, so I can't really do that. They're doing a delivery right now. But you can see, now you might wonder, is this a panoramic sunroof? Well, I could tell you about it, but it'll probably be a lot easier just to show you. Let me see if I can hop up here and show you that no, actually it isn't. Now, one thing, in case you're new to the BMW brand, let me hop inside and let you see what happens and hear what happens. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fire things up. You can see the animated graphic there of your XM that shows up on the screen. Kind of cool, at least the first time. So we're going to turn that volume down. I've paired my phone, as you can see. Now, one thing that I have to say I'm a little disappointed about here is that I can't position you where I normally would, because as I showed you earlier, there's no panoramic sunroof. But we're still going to get out on the road and have some fun. Okay, we're out on the road for the test drive here, and I'll tell you what, even though I know I was talking earlier about the ride quality being a little bit rough, it's really not too bad. Everything I have set to its best setting, most aggressive setting, but let's listen. Whew, man, time to get on the brakes a little bit. You can't see how fast I was going, and I'm not going to say, but I tell you what, it's a little deceptive because of the size of the vehicle being as large as it is. It doesn't feel like you're moving as fast as you are, but that's typical of being a little bit higher off the ground compared to what you would be if you were in, say, a Corvette or something like that. But I tell you what, I can definitely feel the power. You have a good seat of the pants feel for what a vehicle is doing. This one will definitely give it to you. There's a lot of power here. Now, I gave you those numbers earlier. You can definitely feel that. And I tell you what, it gives an awesome exhaust note into the interior. Let's slow down just a little bit. Wow. I'll tell you what, the interior is nice and quiet until you drop the loud pedal. Oh my goodness, I can't contain myself because I'm just having so much fun. I wish this was a press vehicle, because then I could go out and have a little more fun with it than I really am today. Yep, that was unintentional, the M part of that, but it is just so much fun. Wow, let's just do it one more time. Let's just slow down just a little bit. we're not gonna run the light. But my goodness, so much fun here. Wow. You know, I know at the dealership they were telling me how much fun this is to drive, and they weren't kidding. It is fun to drive. Now, there are a couple of things here. One thing, at least, that I forgot to tell you earlier in the video, and that's the fact that there is a very nice, very bright, very clear head-up display or heads-up display, depending on what you want to call it. Hopefully, I'll remember to get you a good shot of that on the screen. You may have seen that earlier when we were looking at the steering wheel and the dashboard and all that stuff, but I'll tell you what, that's another impressive area of this vehicle. Typical of BMW. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm just ready for this light to change so we can take off one more time. I don't know how this is going to launch. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, but wow. Goodness. Oh my goodness, that is unbelievable. Wow. Okay, I got a good punch in the gut that time. I can definitely tell you that that's impressive. But the thing about it that makes it so neat is that this model is not only fun to drive, it's fast, it's quick, it'll put a big smile on your face if you like high performance, but it's also extraordinarily practical. It has plenty of cargo capacity, plenty of room for driver and passenger, and when you need to get around slower moving traffic, well, you can do that. And so I'm not really trying that hard. This car right here is just moving very slowly. I'm not even hardly over the speed limit to get around them, but my goodness, wow. Definitely plenty of performance, a great balance of high performance and being practical at the same time. I don't know what else to say. That's probably how I should have titled the vehicle or the video for this BMW. My goodness, I just don't think I had enough time with it today. Okay, I'm hoping that you can see the head-up display really well here inside, but there is the view. In fact, while we're at it, I can show you a couple of other things that, well, I didn't get to show you as well when we were outside in the bright sunlight, such as the lighting. So here are the headlights, the daytime running lights, all that good stuff is there. In fact, I'll even go in here and turn on something that people say BMWs don't have. It's just for the fun of it. There you go. I mean, you saw it earlier. The turn signal indicator is built into the side view mirrors, but how do those look on the front end? Inside, at least. Well, there you go. You can see how that looks on the front and how it looks on the rear. For those of you who have never had the opportunity to see blinkers working on a BMW, well, there you go. And while we're here, we're inside, why don't we just go ahead and take a look. How does the interior lighting look? Wow, that is a lot better. You can definitely see that much better than we could outside. So tell me what you think down in the comments section. You really probably need to drive one of these XMs for yourself, but based on what I've shown you today, do you think that this is the ultimate driving machine? It's what BMW is billing it as being, and I'll tell you what, the driving experience is definitely impressive, to say the very least. If you get a chance to drive one of these, try that out. Maybe even buy one. Tell me about what your thoughts are down in the comments section. Is this a BMW you plan to buy sometime during the 2023 year? Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at BMW for loaning me this brand new XM for the day, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.